This week has certainly been a momentous news week. Less than 48 hours into the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the Biden administration decided to unveil his pick to replace the retiring U.S. Supreme Court Associate Justice Stephen Breyer. Today, of all days, at age 83, the liberal Breyer is the oldest justice currently serving on the court. Who did President Biden pick as his nominee? Well, FRC's Katherine Johnson, our research fellow for legal and policy studies, is here to tell us all about it. Katherine is also one of our attorneys on staff. Katherine, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, Joseph. Happy to be here this evening.
Well, we're happy to have you. Tell us about his nominee. What do we need to know?
So he nominated Judge Jackson. She's currently a judge at the D.C. Circuit level, which is often known as the court right below the Supreme Court. And this was a very clear radical left pick by President Biden. You know, he had several other nominees who were much more moderate on his short list, but he chose who the dark money, radical, woke groups really wanted, which is Judge Jackson. She has a record of being very much a partisan on the district. She was previously on the district court before she was elevated to the circuit court. And she has actually only had two opinions on the circuit court level. So we're judging based on a lot of her district court opinions. She has been very frequently reversed by the circuit court, which is by no means a conservative court. So we're very concerned by this nomination.
Now, of course, she's being nominated to replace Justice Breyer. Is she significantly different, do you think, than he would be? Would there be any impact to the balance of the court?
She actually clerked for Justice Breyer, so you could say she was made in his mold, but I would say yes, Justice Breyer is much more moderate, especially on issues of religious liberty, where he tended to ride the middle a lot. Here, Judge Jackson has sided with every single opportunity she had, she would strike down any of Trump's executive orders. While she was in practice before she was a judge, she actually worked on an amicus brief for NARAL, arguing that pro-lifers did not have any free speech rights outside abortion clinics. So it's very clear that her goal is to get to the policy end that she wants. She also shielded Hillary Clinton's aide from having to explain why he sent public official emails via his private email account. So Justice Breyer, while I disagreed with him frequently, and most people with our views of the law did, he very much tried to toe the line of I'm a neutral judge and I'm just reading the law. Where I think with Judge Jackson, it's very clear that she's trying to get to a policy goal.
Now, not the most important question, not the most significant issue, but what's your reaction to the timing of this announcement? Now, President Biden did say that he was going to make his announcement by the end of February, and that's where we are. But of course, the world went to war in that time. Do you think there's any sense in which this is an attempt to kind of be a distraction, or is this just an acknowledgement that we have to carry on despite the outbreak of war in Europe?
I think you could definitely read it as that. If you remember, Justice Breyer's retirement was leaked before he officially wanted to announce it. And that was when Omicron was surging and President Biden was doing horribly in the polls. And then suddenly we had the news of Justice Breyer retiring. Now with the outbreak of the war that's going on in Ukraine, many eyes are on Biden, blaming him, talking about how he has done nothing but encourage this war based on his actions. And now suddenly we have a Supreme Court pick. Now, like you said, he did promise that he would have a nominee by the end of February, so it's not terribly surprising, but I find it interesting that he waited until just about the last day possible. It's almost as if he wanted to keep the news in his back pocket in case he needed it after a poor news cycle.
What's the early reaction from the Senate to her nomination? What kind of reception will she be receiving?
Well, Senator McConnell sent out a very fair statement saying that, he's open to meeting with her. He's looking forward to reviewing her judicial philosophy, meeting with her, hearing her out, though he has not been impressed based on what he has seen so far as her opinions at the district level and her merely 2 opinions at the circuit level. He did oppose her nomination at the circuit level, so he doesn't know if much has changed. but he is willing to give her a fair shake, which is much more than the Senate Democrats would say when any of President Trump's 3 nominees had been nominated. So the tone is very much, we will be respectful. We will honor her dignity. She seems like a lovely person. This is nothing personal, but from what we know, we are not impressed, but we will give her a fair interview.
We've seen some contentious confirmation battles in the Senate in recent years, most notably Justice Kavanaugh. Any reason to think we will see a repeat of something like that?
I don't think so. Those games are usually played by the Senate Democrats, as going all the way back to Justice Thomas, how he was treated incredibly unfairly, going to Justice Kavanaugh, who was also attacked. We see that's very much a pattern from the left, not from the right. This also isn't going to tip the balance of the court. This is replacing a liberal justice for a liberal justice. Like I said earlier, she is much more to the left of Breyer, but she is still replacing a Democratic appointee. So we don't expect there to be those same games from the right. There never are.
Katherine, in about 15 seconds, what's the timeline for this process now?
Well, I saw earlier that they are hoping to have her confirmed by April. So we will stay tuned throughout March to hear about her meeting with the various senators and then possibly a confirmation by April.
Katherine Johnson, thank you so much for the update.
Thanks for having me. Enjoy your weekend.